Right, for the yellow flower, Mary Magdalene has this message which I'm going to read from the book because it's a new deck and I don't actually know how to work with this one yet. So here we go. Soul work. I am in service of love. At the end of Mary's Gospel after Levi defends Mary's vision and secret teachings of Christ in response to Peter's belief, he advises, we should clothe ourselves with the perfect human, acquire it for ourselves as he commanded us, and announce the good news. We should clothe ourselves with the perfect human means to continue in the way of love by practicing, no, I can't say this word, anamnesis, I think that's how it's said, or living remembrance daily. We are to remember that we are not only this human body, this swirling mass of egoic desires, we are also a soul, both. To be clothed in the perfect human is to be rooted in the awareness of what it means to be anthropos, fully human and fully divine. This is what Mary teaches that Christ embodied, the unification of self and soul. I love this directive at the end of Mary's Gospel because it reminds us to keep stripping away at the ego in order to clothe ourselves with the perfect human. We have to continue to get naked, to allow the layers of the ego, the limiting beliefs, the old stories we've told ourselves 1,000 times to fall from us, so that what remains is just this radiant soul of love. This way, when we do put on the necessary clothes or egoic states that we have to wear in order to function in the world, we are less and less confused about what they are, just clothes. These garments of the ego are not our true self. Our true self is the soul. The soul work in Levi's call for us to be clothed with the perfect human is for us to acquire it for ourselves as he, Christ, commanded us. This calling is for us to do the work ourselves. It's not enough that Christ embodied the perfect human, the wholeness of self and soul in a state of union. We also must devote ourselves to the soul work of becoming one from within. And the simple fact that we can, that it is possible to encounter the soul now in our human bodies, this is the good news. That we are a part of the good. Inherently, this is the great truth we are meant to announce by becoming this truth ourselves. So basically, we are to remember that we're not just a body, we are also a soul. Our body lives within our soul. Our meat suit, our flesh, has pretty much a mind of its own in the form of ego, personality. Oftentimes we put the personality, the ego, before anything else because we're frightened of missing something, of losing out. FOMO is a good word for the age we're living in right now, fear of missing out. So we cover our real feelings, we block the love that wants to come out, when really that love is our true essence. It's not the FOMO, it's not the personality, that's not our true essence. That is a picture that we present to the world in hopes that we will be accepted or acceptable. And if we're not acceptable by that picture, then we can either fall into the animalistic fears that create the anger within us, or the desire to, in inverted commas, slag someone off, because we're protecting our ego, our smaller self, the image, which isn't the real us. The real us is the soul itself. That's the real essence of us. That's that spark of God that we carry always with us, life after life after lifetime, all the way through our life. But it's the part that the majority of us bury because we're frightened of it. We're frightened of it because it offers too much love. And love makes us vulnerable. And we're scared of vulnerability. We're scared that if we love, then we're weak. But love is actually our strength. If you notice, after every single crisis, people pull together to help those that are struggling, that are affected by the crisis. People pull together. That's love. That's the soul in action. There are people that will do things for effect, for, recognition, but that's part of the ego, and it's wise to know the difference. Wise to know the difference, because the difference is essential. And when you don't know the difference, then it gets you into all kinds of crap. And then the ego fires up, and it can lead us into more crap. And it's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger crap. And the way to break through the crap, to actually see the crap, is to let love come through. What would love do in this situation? Oops, that's the cat. What would love do in this situation? Always ask that, because essentially at your basic level, well, it's not even basic, it's your topmost level. You are love. At your base level, you are personality. So allow your topmost self to run the show, and only let the personality have access when you need to run from danger. Danger can be seen by the personality as a hungry lion, and the soul can be seen as the lion of your own self-sovereignty, your own Christed consciousness, the Christ consciousness that lives within you. You choose which way to look at what is in front of you. Okay. That's your message, yellow flower. If you chose the yellow flower, that is your message. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. All the best.